Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is George and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 176. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? Honestly, I love this week's chapter because it really showcased, once again, Yoru's backstory, and we're getting more details about why exactly she hates Chainsaw Man so much, and it gave her more character as a whole, as well as, her dynamic with Asa and how much they've been opening with each other. And I just really like that element in this week's chapter where we're really starting to, flesh out Yoru even more, because Yoru has always been one of the most fascinating characters in part 2, and I think that this week's chapter really helped out in fleshing out her character even more and giving her more of a, a reason why she hates Chainsaw Man so much more, as well as a huge revelation towards the end involving her that I can't wait to talk about with you guys. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Chainsaw Man, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts off in a point where I myself was predicting, which is a flashback involving Yoru. Now, I originally thought we were going to get like a origin story of Yoru and see what her, backstory was as a whole. But we kind of do get that because it's an interaction between Asa and herself. And you see that they're kind of in the bathroom, and they're taking a bath. And we see that, Yoru's turning like a soap into a sword. And, she's explaining to Asa, like, how now they can just transform things without even saying their name or anything. They can just do it at will. But she still thinks that it's not good enough. And even Asa's like, hey, so like, what's the point, bro? Like, even if you can do this, like, do you really think you can defeat Chainsaw Man? And it's pretty much, yeah, she's kind of spin, not gonna lie, because we know that Yoru, even with this power-up, she was no contest to Chainsaw Man. I mean, just look to the prior chapter before this one where we see, Yoru and Chainsaw Man fought, and she just completely got annihilated by him. So it was really cool seeing, Asa bring it up. It was like, yeah, bro, you wouldn't stand a chance. And an interesting thing that Asa brings up is like, why are you so interested in fighting Denji and Chainsaw Man? Like, do you know they're too strong? Like, why is it that you can't just let it go? And we get an explanation of why Yoru is so, defiant about defeating Chainsaw Man and why she cares so much. And it's apparently, Yoru's whole goal about fighting Chainsaw Man is to make him vomit, her comrades. Because apparently there's comrades that, Yoru was friends with or whatever that were eaten by Chainsaw Man. And she wants Chainsaw Man to spit them out. And we have previously established that that is possible. That is a possibility. We can see Chainsaw Man spitting some devils previously thanks to Yoshida and all that, but the question is, can she make him spill out some devils that he consumed so many years ago, probably, if not decades, maybe centuries ago. So that's an interesting thing to note. And we see that pretty much as Asa and Yoru keep talking, there's a lot of like very emotional and very thought-provoking conversations between the two of them, and one of them is involving pretty much Asa being like, hey, listen, like, what would it take you to be able to defeat Denji? Like, well, because he's like, she's just telling her, like, if you, what would you need to be able to, like, even be equals to Denji or Chainsaw Man? And she just brings up, like, well, if I were to use, I need him to spit out my comrades. So after that, we should be able to defeat Chainsaw Man. And Asa's just like, yeah, that, like, I understand what you're saying and I get where you're coming from, but like, why are you so, like, would that make you happy? Like, even if you like defeat Chainsaw Man, what's the point of it? Like, what if you can't even get your comrades back? And I like the fact that like, why can't you, like, Asa says a line, I'm paraphrasing, but she goes like, she says something along the lines of, okay, let's say you do like defeat Chainsaw, like, you already became fearsome, like, you already, like, all these people remember war, they remember the struggles of war and everything, because you got more powerful, so therefore they already remember war, because of the tensions in the world. Isn't that good enough? Like, isn't that what you wanted also? And pretty much Yoru was like, no, bro. But I did like that thing where Asa's like, let's say you do defeat Chainsaw Man, will that still make you happy? Like, will that magically just make you happy out of nowhere? And I like how there's a panel where you see like Yoru kind of like take a silent stare at Asa facing down. She's like, like, she kind of looks like she's starting to realize, like, maybe what I'm pursuing is not going to make me happy, even if I do accomplish it. Like, so I did like that, level of depth into Yoru's character. And one thing to note is that as soon as, I'm telling about all this depth and maturity of Yoru's character, she also throws a tantrum after the fact, which is like, no, I have to defeat Chainsaw Man. No matter what, I will defeat him. I need to defeat him for my comrades and for myself. And what we seem to do see what we see after that is we catch back to the present time, where we see, you know, Pochita fighting Yoru, and it was right where we left off, where, you know, she doesn't have her hands, and, you know, like Yoru saying to Asa, like, you know, there is a way to defeat. I mean, I could stand a chance against Chainsaw Man, but I would have to use two devils that I know, or two weapons. And, you know, these weapons are way stronger than anything you ever conjured, Asa. It's like, okay, well, I mean, what it would take to use them is like, well, you know, if I use them to bring my comrades die, I will have to, like, pretty much either they'll die with me or something like that. That's my understanding on it. Like, I'll have to use these weapons to defeat Chainsaw Man. And she goes, okay, well, you know, as your mother, come to me, my kids. Like, she's just saying, like, apparently Yoru is the mother of these two weapons that she's talking about. And what weapons is she exactly talking about? She's talking about guns and tanks. And that was crazy. So I'm questioning now, does that mean that Yoru is actually the mother of the gun devil? Like I was like, whoa, hold up a minute. The second she said gun and tanks, I'm like, wait, you talking about the same gun devil that was wreaking havoc in the first part of Chainsaw Man? Like, well, hold up a second. You're bringing him back? And not just that, tanks too. I don't think we ever seen a tank devil, so that's gonna be pretty awesome. And we see that pretty much the second she says this, you know, she has this stare down, and it's really cool. Like, I like how Fujimoto illustrated her summoning them. And we see how we cut back to, like, you know, places in, like, Gulf of Mexico and Russia and all these other places, I believe. And we see that there are government facilities, and then out of nowhere there's a hole, and it just looks like a missile launcher. It just looks like something like when at, you know, Mach 20 speed. Like, it just, like, it teleported to where Yoru is with Chainsaw Man. And we see that, you know, we catch back with the fight, and what happens is that, you know, Pochita is getting pushed back. Pochita, I believe his arms come off because of this impact between the gun and the tanks. And you see, like, this is the first time Pochita has ever been in the back foot of this fight entirely, since he's been coming back to full power. No one's ever been able to even give him a scratch, but apparently Yoru with this power up definitely has. And the coolest part about this chapter is that final page where we see, you know, we had seen Yoru pretty much lose her hands, or Asa, because she's, you know, inhabiting Asa's body. And we've seen that, you know, she can't really grow limbs. So we see that pretty much what happens, the limbs that are missing become gauntlets of the devils that she's using. So we see the tank devil and the gun devil, you know, she calls them, right, like my gauntlets. So she's literally about to throw hands with Pochita with the gun devil's help and the tank devil. So this is insane. I know some people, I think I've seen some people back in the day theorizing that what if, you know, Yoru was some way related to the gun devil, because, you know, guns, you know, are the catalyst to pretty much wars. Same thing. I saw some people saying, like, maybe Reese and the bomb devil, maybe they come into play now, and that could be a possibility. I mean, thinking all things considered, I mean, if Reese shows up now, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, you know, you got the tanks and the guns. So what are you missing? The bombs. And what if, hear me out, guys, what if Yoru is able to take control of, you know, the bomb devil, you know, Reese herself? That'd be insane. At that point, I think that she would have a slight advantage over over Pochita. But who am I to say? I mean, Pochita did body all the hybrids with one shot, you know, part one, and he's been an absolute menace this entirety of, you know, since his reincarnation once again. So I mean, there's a lot of speculations. There's a lot of theory crafting that's going to go down in these past 2 weeks, because next week there's a break. So we won't have a Chainsaw Man chapter, sadly. But, I mean, let Fujimoto cook, man. Let him get some rest. Let him keep cooking this 5-star meal that he keeps giving us, because this chapter was awesome. I really can't wait to see now the epic showdown between Yoru and Pochita, and I'm wondering how this is going to settle down. Like, either is Pochita finally going to be defeated, and if he is, what is Yoru going to do after the fact? You know, is she going to transform him into a weapon? Whatever the case might be, I can't wait to see it, and I'm very excited to see where the story goes from here. Now, with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.